Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the hottest sports podcast in the South. You are now tuned in the best damn sports podcast, period. This is
Do you feel the vibes?
Yo, what is up? Welcome to an Overreaction Monday. I'm your host, the sensational Sentell Whiteman. Thank you for joining me wherever you may be or however you may be watching it, however you may be listening. Thank you for getting in. Lots to discuss. The end of the regular season in college football concluded over the weekend. We're gonna talk a lot of that, a lot of NFL action as well, and a few other things we're gonna touch on. But it's an Overreaction Monday, so really your show because I want to hear more from you guys, comments, phone calls, all that good stuff. We got championship week in college football. We'll give you those matchups in a few moments as well. Again, lots to get into. Again, the fact that you are excited to tonight on the show. Also, there is a poll question right now on the Sentell's Intel page on Facebook. How should Clemson fans feel about this weekend performance? Should they be encouraged or discouraged? Right now, looks like the vote is going more toward encouraged than discouraged, but we'll get back to that because it concludes at the end of the program, and I'll give you those final numbers about that poll. But I want to start with this. Michigan. I want to start with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. A very, very disappointing performance, to say the least, from Michigan. A lot of the faithful thought that this was the year, that this was the season that Jim Harbaugh finally beat Ohio State and Urban Meyer, but it was not to be. And, I got to ask the Michigan faithful and the fans out there, how do you view Michigan? How do you see Michigan? How do you view them? Look at Harbaugh right now, 4 seasons in. He's making about $9 million a season, 7.5, whatever reports you read, it's at least $7 million a year. Base salary is around about 5, the incentives and other stuff that goes into that. Making about $7 million. It's like the second or third highest paid coaching. He's been here 4 seasons. 38-13 overall. 26-9 in the Big Ten. 4 seasons. No division titles, no conference championship appearances, of course, no championship wins at all. Just a disappointing loss. You look at Michigan, and I picked Ohio State. I just thought that Michigan just doesn't have the athletes offensively, and probably not defensively either. We vastly overrated their defense. The numbers were skewed based on the competition that they played, and you look at the 2 best teams that they played, which were Notre Dame and Ohio State, and they got thrashed in both situations, in both equations. Ohio State basically did whatever they want to do to offensively. But you look at Michigan, one historic program, a historic program, one of the I think it's still the all-time leading winningest program. I'm not sure offhand, but I know it's a top 2, top 3 type situation. But I just want to know from Michigan fans, how do you feel about Michigan? How do you view Michigan? And I think this goes back the decline of Michigan. In direct correlation between the decline of Michigan with the time 2007. It was 2007. 2007 is when this program, to me, this is what the fork in the road happened when the program took its nosedive. If you look in 2007, they were coming off 11-2 season after 2006, heading to 2007. It was a top 5 preseason ranking. They were led by Chad Henne at quarterback. Mike Hart at running back. They had Jake Long, who would turn into a first-round left tackle. And they took on Appalachian State. We all know what happened that day in Ann Arbor. And that day, they lost in one of the greatest, probably the greatest upset in college football history. Let's say that. At the time, App State was an FCS school. I just mentioned what Michigan was bringing back, how good we thought they were. That season, they lost the second game. That led to two losses. They lost the FCS App State, then they lose to Oregon, and they finished that season 9-4. Lloyd Carr retires. Okay, so let's go through the Lloyd Carr era. Lloyd Carr, their 13 seasons. He was 120, 40 overall, 81 and 23 in the Big Ten. That's pretty good. 4 conference championships, and of course he had the one natty back in '97 when they went undefeated AP champs. At the time, there was championship. People complain about it. Playoffs. Hey, but hey, go do your thing, do what you do. But he was outstanding. But since that point, since Lloyd Carr retired, he retired in 2007 after that season. Since then, it have been 11 seasons since '07. Michigan is 84 and 55. No division titles or conference championships. So this is 11 years later. 11 years later, 3 coaches later, Michigan still finds themselves in the same place they were after the 2007 season. So, you know, I don't know what Michigan. I don't really know. They have to get more athletic. I don't know if it's Harbaugh. If he's the answer, I don't know. He's getting paid like he's the answer, but I don't know if he's the answer or not. This old style football is gone. This 3 yards, a cloud of dust is over. 2 tight ends and and the fullback in college football, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work in this days college football. If you look at Ohio State, they play in the Big Ten, but offensively they don't play like a Big Ten school. They don't play like a Big Ten school. They spread the ball around. They got athletes all over the field, and they 4 and 5 wide to get the ball out. They don't play like a Big Ten team. This is why they're so dominant. If you go look back at Ohio State's record since Urban Meyer's been there in the Big Ten, they might have they have a few losses actually in the Big Ten. So they're not built like a Big Ten school, and I just don't. It's a gap. It's a huge gap between Ohio State and everybody else in the Big Ten. Like it's a huge gap there from a talent perspective. It's a huge gap, and they're just dominating the Big Ten right now. I don't know how close Michigan really thinks they are. This was the best team that Jim Harbaugh has had. They got destroyed Saturday in the horseshoe game that, quite frankly, wasn't even close. It was close early, 21. I think it was 21-19, but the third quarter, Ohio State 17-0, and then from that point on, it was pretty much all Ohio State rest of the way. I think that I think there's one sole reason Michigan program is like it is. There's somebody at fault here, and it's Appalachian State. That's who fault it is. It is App State's fault that Michigan is where they are right now. It's App State's fault. Completely App State's fault. That's who's responsible for this demise of Michigan's program right now. It's App State's fault. But of course I'm kidding. But want to get your guys' thoughts on Michigan program. If you want to call in 864-378-5943, 864-378-5943. If you want to share your thoughts on Michigan, if you want to comment on Michigan program or what we talked about this, and we're gonna move on to some other things as well. We're gonna get to weekend as well as things that I want to touch on. But call in, feel free at any moment to jump in here. I want to talk about a couple of hires that happened today. Yesterday was considered Black Sunday for college football coaches. Not a lot of firings, though. Actually, not a lot of people got fired. Cliff Kingsbury is out at Texas Tech. Matt McIntyre got fired from Colorado. So not really a big. Larry Fedora's out at UNC, which kind of leads me to the guy I want to talk about, Mac Brown. Apparently, Mac Brown is back at UNC. And a lot of UNC people think this is a good thing. I, for one, don't think it's a good thing. I think this is a terrible hire. Um, I think this is a terrible hire. I'll get to you in a minute, DeMarcus Banks. Um, Matt Brown is 67 years old. This is a young man's game to me. College football is a young man's game right now. These old guys, these old, you know, run the ball 3 yards and play defense. That day is gone. That day is gone. Matt Brown is 67 years old for a program that needs to be rebuilt. And I think ultimately North Carolina doesn't want to be an elite football program. They would just like to be 6-6, 7-5, and occasionally get a 9-10 win season. So they're not looking for a 9-10 win season. But I think this move was just rushed and it's just I don't know what the people in North Carolina are thinking, making this hire. If you look at the last 4 years at Matt Brown at Texas, he wasn't great. 5-7, 8-5, 9-4, 8-5. Basically, since the moment Vince Young left out, well, Colt McCoy, he did go to a title game. But you look at the recruiting of Texas once he left, the people he missed on, the Jameis Winstons of the world, the Colt McCoys, the Matthew Staffords, those types of people who wanted to go to Texas. He did not get Robert Griffin III. The people want to go to Texas. He want, I mean, so, I mean, you look at Matt Brown, when he left at Texas, how he left Texas, his recruiting prowess, which is non-existent, and the fact that he was given his age, I think this is a terrible hire. With all the young offensive innovative minds out there, this is a good school. I mean, they'll put a little money in the program. This is a nice program. And given how bad the ACC Coastal has been, if you're a really good coach, you can go ahead and win this conference. I mean, Pitt just won this conference at 7-5, division at 7-5. I'm sorry, they just won the division at 7-5. So I would have hired a young offensive innovative coach myself personally. Hell, even a young defensive coach. Well, I wouldn't have hired Matt Brown. Now Matt Brown had a previous tenure at UNC, and he had some great times. He was 69-46. Took the program to places it never been and hasn't been since. So I understand the people of UNC having that connection with him. I just think it's a bad hire. I don't see that working out at all. That's just my opinion, one man's opinion. If you want to share your thoughts on Matt Brown, and he's been hired at UNC in 864-378-5943, 378-5943. DeMarcus Banks, I'm gonna need you to kind of clarify whether are you making a comment, or are you gonna elaborate on that or not? I mean, it says A-Rod not so great. I'm assuming he's talking about Alex Rodriguez. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I think he's talking about Aaron Rodgers, who did look mortal last night. 188 yards passing on TV. I mean, obviously, it's not good. It's not good for good look for Aaron Rodgers. But I placed this at Mike McCarthy's feet. He should be fired. The GM hasn't done a great job either of building talent around on this roster. But Aaron got to bear some responsibility for it as well. But I'll place the most of the blame on Mike McCarthy. I don't know if they're gonna run the table or not. Shaquille Rowe, Shaq. I'm sorry. It just looks bad. It looks bad. He hasn't played. He hasn't played particularly well as of late. But you know, uh, oh, I agree. I'm not. I'm not gonna. No, look. I'm completely objective on this show. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Aaron Rodgers has been spectacular. I know the 20 TDs, the one pick looks good on a sheet of paper, but they haven't been impactful at all. They can't win on the road. 4-6-1 now. I had them playing. I had them in the playoffs. I can't see it now. You got to jump two teams. Minnesota and Chicago is in front of you, even though you did beat Chicago in that opener. he hasn't played well, but I placed the majority of the blame on Mike McCarthy and the GM. They asked Aaron Rodgers to do a whole lot with this roster and a whole lot to cover up this team's deficiency. And this year, after getting banged up in the first game, he hasn't been healthy. They asked him to do a lot, do what he's normally capable of doing. I just don't think he's capable of doing that at this moment in time. But they should have been fired Mike McCarthy. You're talking about a team that could use a young, innovative minded head coach. The Green Bay Packers could definitely use a young, innovative head coach. You look at phone call. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jenkins calling from.
Oh, Cole, stand up. What's up, my man?
I'm done.
That is correct. You get to overreact.
I just want. I know. What in the world are the Atlanta Braves doing giving Josh Donaldson 1 year
it's
and bringing back washed up Ryan McKenzie?
You want me to answer those questions?
Yes, please. I need the Braves fan. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
I'm like,
well, you look at Josh Donaldson now. 2 years ago, he was the MVP of the league. Had some injuries the last couple of seasons. You look at this as a very low risk, higher reward situation. Because if you getting him for 1 year rental, so you have nothing tied into him. So he comes in, he stinks it up. Okay, he's off the books next year. But if he can come in and be the guy he was 2 years ago in the middle of that lineup with Acuna and Freeman, that could be a huge upgrade at third base. Say what now? Go ahead. Are you still there? Okay, yeah. But if you can get that guy to be the guy he was a few years ago, he was the MVP. This guy was an MVP of a league, and he's only 33, which is not old in baseball sense. I think it's worth it, considering I don't think we're gonna go out to Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, and tie up a lot of money in those two guys. So to me, this is okay for me. And then Brian McCann just brings back leadership, gives you a left-handed bat. You can platoon your catchers. But I don't believe in Tyler Flowers at all. And then he can lead the young guys and help the pitching staff out. So I'm okay with both the moves today.
that's a good point. I mean, Tyler Flowers, blasted. Yeah, I mean, 33 are young players. I think old. And when you look at this climb on my man, healthy, that's what, two?
It's been two. I think it's 2 seasons he hasn't played a whole lot of games, but then 3 seasons ago he was really.
That just blew my mind. I'm like, 23, man? This guy, you can get more than that. You're going to do it 1 year. Crazy.
I mean, I can see why you would feel concerned about it. I personally, like I said, I like it because you're not tied into the guy. I mean, you're not tied into it. If they had a game a 4-year deal at that kind of number, I'd be like, okay, now this is stupid. But it's just a 1 year deal. You're not tied to him, and if he and it's low risk to me. I know you say $23 million, but the Braves have a ton of caps, ton of space. You're not paying anybody. And if you're not going to go out to Harper or Machado, then this is a safe, good pickup. I mean, you make the playoffs without having a power bat. This guy could definitely provide power if he can stay healthy.
Right.
Any other
I
comments?
guess we should have put your thoughts about Frank. Another probably should have kept him, huh?
Who that?
Frank Rand, did you know?
Oh, nah. I mean, guy, he went to Boston. I mean, Boston blows up, man. And if you lucky enough to be around the organization, then you're gonna win. I mean, Terry Francona had a lot of success. They bring in core. Hey, you got those kind of players on your roster, and you spend the kind of money that Boston spends, you expect to win, and that's what they do.
So, my last question is, for Overreaction Monday.
I'm here.
Are the Duke, according to the AP poll, the Duke still ranked number 1?
No, they're not. That's not correct.
Okay. Well, I saw earlier today.
Gonzaga's the new number 1. Wipe this up.
That's it. What you think Duke's gonna do?
What I think they're gonna do. I mean, all right. Appreciate the phone call. Hold up, man. I'm very. First of all, don't ever question my objectivity on this show. Ever do that on the air. I mean, this is a very, very talented team. What they don't have right now is a lot of depth. I worry about the shooting from time to time, but they have shot it a whole lot better than I thought they would coming into the season. The ACC is really, really tough, which should help them in the long run. One of you playing great teams, better competition, going to hostile environments can only help you. I mean, I can't make a prediction about Final Four. College basketball is the ultimate. You just don't know, especially when you get in a tournament. It's a one shot deal. Anybody can get beat, especially by a quality opponent on a given night. I'm not gonna make any proclamations about going to the Final Four. I told you guys a long time ago. I'm more of a fan of experienced basketball teams and guard play in this in the tournament. I'm always been that way. I like having. I don't love having one and done like this. I enjoy it. It's a lot of excitement, but that to me it doesn't win in the tournament. We only won one championship in this era, one and done. So I'm not gonna make no proclamations about winning chips. I mean, they project. I mean, yeah, the 3 of them for sure. Because I mean, you got 2 of the guys that projected top 3 picks. You have to go. If they didn't have to go to college, they would be already gone. That's Zion and Barrett. I'm sure Reddish has the same inclinations too. Dome might be the only guy that stays, but last year we lost all 4 guys. I mean, all 4 of those guys left. 2 of them I didn't even think should have been even thinking about the draft, but they did anyway. So this is what you recruited them as. These guys consider themselves one and done, especially when they're top talent, top 10 prospects. I expect at least 3 of them to be gone. So they're gonna go.
Jones got them bloodline.
Yeah, and I thought Tyus probably should have came back, but ultimately made he made the right. I mean, he looked like he made the right decision. I mean, I think one more year would have helped him, but it didn't hurt him as much as I thought it would. Got anything else?
I think up before.
Uh-huh.
These Cowboys.
What happened? What that?
I think with the Cowboys person in.
Yes.
No.
Are you asking me? Are you asking me? Because I have lost faith in the Philadelphia Eagles. I lost complete faith in them. They can't run the football. The defensive back end is terrible. They have no secondary help whatsoever. All the cornerbacks are injured. I look at the Washington Redskins with Alex Smith. I didn't believe in Alex, but now you bring in Colt McCoy. I don't trust them. The Giants are gone already. So Cowboys at least have a quarterback that we know gonna be there. They have the running back in the division. They have a really good defense that can play with anybody in the league. So I mean that's why I draw my conclusion from.
Terrible. Last question. I know you.
If I had to make a prediction right now, Super Bowl pick right now, I would go New Orleans and Kansas City. If you put me on the gun right now, but even though I don't trust Andy Reid, but if you put me a gun in my head now, I'll go New Orleans. Yeah, maybe it changed with Pat Mahomes, but I don't trust Andy Reid in the playoff at all. But since you made me make a pick on November the 26th, I believe it is, I'll go Saints and Kansas City right now. But that would definitely change as the season goes on.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate the phone call. Man, Bruntsy getting in here. He had a ton of things to go over. DeMarcus Banks. You want to get back to that? Okay, that's fine. Hey, he hasn't been great. Nobody's gonna sit here and say. Nobody's gonna sit here and say that Aaron Rodgers has been great. Anybody's watching right now knows Aaron Rodgers has not played well at all. But if you look at his body language, which I tend to look at his body language a lot, he's lost faith in Mike McCarthy. He just has. Just look at his body language. Like he doesn't believe in what they're doing. So I just think they should have made the change. They should have made the change a long time ago, and it's coming. But this year is probably a wash, and start fresh and new next year. Hasn't been good. Let's move along. Got some news. And not pass along, but it's also some news that happened today in the NFL. In the world of the NFL, they had a firing of our offensive coordinator. Jacksonville fired their offensive coordinator, and then they promoted Cody Kessler to the starting quarterback position, and that means Blake Bortles is now on the bench. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who were in the AFC Championship game last year, are now 3-8 and look like a shell of themselves this year. And clearly, they're putting the blame on the offensive coordinator and on Blake Bortles. But the defense hasn't been much better. But I do believe as well that the defense lost faith in Blake Bortles, so led to their performance level dropping. That's just my take. But Blake Bortles is now on the bench. Cody Kessler is now in. I don't think Bortles is done in Jacksonville, so if you're a Jacksonville fan, maybe you're upset because you missed out the last couple of drafts on some of the young quarterbacks that you could have got. Could have had a chance to go out to Kirk Cousins agency this year and Case Keenum. You could have made some trades. Teddy Bridgewater was out there, so but you chose to sign Blake Bortles. Backfired. Gotta live with it. So move on. Other news in college football: Kyler Murray, fabulous. Almost says that he will indeed quit football after the season and continue to play ball for the Oakland Athletics. Remember drafted by the A's, top 10 pick. Very highly thought of baseball prospect. So he indeed will leave the program on baseball. That let's UFC quarterback Mackenzie Milton. I was on Friday when this actually happened. Had a gruesome Friday. Sucks to see that. So we wish him a speedy recovery. For thoughts about the Jacksonville Redskins not hiring Cal. At this point, you're not surprised, right? I'm not surprised. I have no. I could be here all night. I don't have any thoughts on it because it's like I'm not surprised anymore. The thing that I am most sure of now is that Cap's gonna win his conclusion case. Should be a slam dunk. Some of the guys I've seen brought in this year is just, but we're not. No one's surprised. Anybody with a brain, anyone who can see, anyone who has the wherewithal, common sense about these things knows that Colin Kaepernick was blackballed from the league and did caused NFL owners to not want to hire him, which is definitely a conclusion. And then they keep bringing in this trash quarterbacks over and over and over again, and trying to sell me that these guys can play, but we all know they're garbage. They can keep bringing them in. I just told you that just adds fire and ammo to Colin Kaepernick's case. He's gonna win in a landslide. It shouldn't be close. I have no thought. I mean, you know what? You know, they're a joke. Jay Gruden's a joke. Bill, Larry and Blake Borders, I mean, they're a joke. So who cares what those two cares? Want Cap to win his case. He's serving his purpose, and it's bigger than football, and he's doing wonderful, awesome things. So, if he never plays again, hopefully he's content with that because he probably won't play again. He made a lot of impact in other areas. Deal with that. Oh, he said he was at the Clemson Carolina game this past weekend. What are your thoughts on the defense? They should drop one spot in the poll. I'm concerned. That's really where my poll question comes from. Should you be encouraged or discouraged? Yes, offensively you was dominant. 700 yards worth of offense, but the defense, you know, gave up a ton of yards and points. Now I will say the third quarter they shut Carolina out, and basically by the fourth quarter it was 49-21. So they were up by 28 points at this. Up by 28 points. You know, but I would be concerned. I mean, because if you look at the two best offensive team Clemson has played, A&M, Carolina, quarterbacks both had big time games. They threw the ball all over that secondary. If I'm Clemson, I am worried about my secondary a little bit because if you get into that playoff, now they're gonna beat Pitt by 50 points this week. Pitt lost to Miami. They're gonna beat Pitt by 100. So you start looking at some of those better offenses they can play in the playoffs, the Oklahomas of the world, and Alabama. We know even Georgia. You know what those teams represent offensively. Ohio State to a certain extent. You know what those teams can do. I would be worried if on that back end, because I was told, by most Clemson fans, they had no respect for Jake Bentley, in the South Carolina offense coming to that game whatsoever. I was told that they would be lucky to get 7 points. I was told that they shouldn't even show up to the stadium. That's what I was told. That's what I was led to believe going into the game. And then when I watched the game, I mean, like I say, second half, yes, Clemson dominated, and then Carolina got some touchdowns that will probably get some backups. God knows who, at this point, 49-20. But early on, first 3-4 drives, Carolina moved the ball very, very well through the air. They couldn't run it at all. So basically, they were one-handed. But if I'm a Clemson fan, I gotta be worried about the secondary because you look at the two best offenses that they played. And if you want to throw Syracuse in. Syracuse had success early on through that game. Those teams moved the ball through the air. They had success. So I would be concerned. I don't know about dropping them in the poll, but what I will tell you, and this might not be a popular opinion from you people out there watching, I think the two best teams in college football are going to play Saturday at 4:00. That's just my opinion. I think the two best teams are going to play Saturday at 4:00. That's just my opinion. I think Clemson can bounce back. Obviously, maybe they overlooked Carolina. Maybe they didn't take them seriously. That could be at work here. They got to show us some things in the back end. And that goes for Bama too. Bama hasn't been truly tested. They won a couple times. They were truly tested. Their secondary didn't hold up well either. And I think Georgia is susceptible against the run. And then I think Oklahoma just has a terrible defense, has a dynamic offense, but they did a terrible defense. Ohio State, they gave up 50 points to Maryland, so I don't, So a lot of these teams got issues. These teams all have some flaws. I know it may not seem like it, but these teams all have flaws. But I wouldn't drop Clemson in the poll. If it was me, tomorrow night the college football playoff rankings come out. It was me. I have Bama. I have Clemson, Georgia. I've had Notre Dame. That would be my top four. I know Notre Dame is undefeated, but you know I'm not overly impressed with them. But they're undefeated and they deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm not overly impressed with them. That would be my top four if I had to rank them. But Clemson should be concerned defensively. I mean, it's not okay. It's a level 10 alert concern level, but I would be at about a 5 or a 6. Considering the two best teams that I play offensively, two best teams they've seen offensively, made them fits offensively. They just ran over Carolina defensively. They stink. I would be worried if concerned a little. Kind of go through some of these scores from the weekend in college football. As I mentioned, Oklahoma defeated West Virginia on Friday night in a wild Big 12. I mean, are you shocked? What do you expect? 59-56. Oklahoma gets the win. They take on Texas this weekend, a rematch for earlier game this season, which Texas won. Big 12 championship Saturday at noon. By the way, party at my house. Starting at noon. Wings and meatballs and drinks and football right here with yours truly. The Washington Huskies defeated the Washington Cougars in Apple Cup 28-15. They will take on the Utah Utes for the Pac-12 South in the Pac-12 championship. That would be Friday night. Bama defeated Auburn 52-1. I mentioned Ohio State defeating Michigan. They will take on Northwestern, the 8-4 Northwestern Wildcats in the Big Ten title game Saturday night. I mentioned Notre Dame defeating USC 2017 to go undefeated. A&M beat LSU this weekend in a wild game, 74-72, 7 overtimes. And in 7 overtimes, Joe Burrow only managed to throw for 280 yards. Go figure. It was the game. It was Tigers over the game. College 56-35. We talked about that earlier. And right then, the Florida Gators 41 beating the Florida State Seminoles 14, ending the 5-year streak that Florida State had coming into the game. Also ending Florida State's consecutive bowl game streak is over. They're 5-7. They will not be going to a bowl game for the first time since 1981. You're welcome. That was college football action on Saturday. If you want to get in on that, you can. Comments, concerns, issues, all of that good stuff from rivalry week. That's what it was. In the NFL, the best game of the week, best game of the weekend, best game of the Sunday. Seattle and the Carolina Panthers. Seattle ends up winning 30-27. CMC, Christian McCaffrey had a hell of a game. He was over 200 yards from scrimmage. He had 100-yard receiving, over 100-yard rushing. And he was just good yesterday. But I tell you what, Russell Wilson kid. I got a lot of love and admiration for Russell Wilson. He doesn't care that they don't give him any offensive weapons. He doesn't care that they don't have a great offensive line. He doesn't care that the defense is not what it used to be. He doesn't care that they don't have Richard Shermans and those type of guys anymore. He just goes out and he just plays his ass off and competes. I mean, he was great yesterday. 339 yards passing, 2 TDs, kept countless drives alive, and just made plays with his feet. It's just spectacular. And, a lot of people, criticize Russell, call him corny, all this other good stuff, and whatever. All I know is this corny dude got a Super Bowl ring, married to Sierra, and this is really nice. So if that's corny, Sign me up for that. I want all the corny you can give me. If that's what corny is, I need all of that. I need that. I need what Russell Wilson has. If that's corny, I need all of that. I need that. I mean, married to Sierra. He got a Super Bowl ring. He's a $100 million contract. I mean, we should all be so corny. We should all be so corny as Russell Wilson. But I tell you, I've grown to be a huge fan. I've always kind of been a fan of Russell, but these last few years, I've just grown to really love him because I've watched him play and I've watched what Seattle has done to him for his weapons they have and the pieces around him. He has. I won't say nothing because these guys they are in the NFL. They are in the NFL. So I can't say they just nothing, But kudos to Russell Wilson. He was brilliant yesterday, and more corny. Thoughts on a Spar Clemson fans saying that USC game is considered lost. That is stupidity. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. You talking about a Spar, just a Spar riding group, and I know it's just 1%, 2%. I know this ain't every Clemson fan because that is just the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. You beat your rival by 21 points, and people are saying upset about winning. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not even. You know what? I shouldn't even identify this with a response. I mean, that is. I've heard these things. But I try not to even focus on that because that's just stupidity. That you think that you are so above it all now that you're supposed to beat everybody by 50 points and they shouldn't score on you. Other teams have players on scholarship too. Other players work out hard too in the off season. Other teams have coaches. They scout. They look at film as well. And to be so Spar. And I told you, Clemson fans, coming to the season, it started with that Kelly Bryant thing in the spring. I told you, some of you were getting too damn big for your britches. But you know what? Your time gonna come. It's gonna come because some of you are really, really asking for it. I mean, what in the hell? Who? How do you fix your mouth to be upset and consider being your rival by 21? Oh, we consider that a loss. How how out of it must you be? To even fix your mouth to say such just ridiculous things. That is just beyond stupid. Whoever said that and whatever part of the fan base, because I know it's been said. It's out there. I've seen some of the tweets. Some of these fools are out there who said this, so I know it's true. You're an idiot. But your time is coming because it wasn't too long ago. I just went through this. I just told you people, you were mediocre as hell 8 years ago. And the previous years before that, you were mediocre. Now you get a little success, a little shine. You just want to act Yes, a win is a win in any sport. You win, hello? You play to win the game. Hello? This thing on? You play to win the game. That's why you play. I'd rather have an ugly, ugly win than a pretty, pretty loss any damn day. I'd rather have a Sealy from Color Purple win every day than a Halle Berry Beyonce loss anytime. That is just ridiculous, and that is stupidity at the highest level. A win's a win. I mean, because at the end of the day, because if you win the national championship game by half a point, I mean, yeah, I'm going to be upset about that, sure. Nah, but this is what the Clemson fan base has become. Now, not all of you have become this way. I'm not talking about all of you, but some of you have got on my damn nerves, man. Because you're just becoming an arrogant ass fan base. And that, you know, uh, 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 mm, it wasn't a great win by no means. But was it a good win? Yes, you put up 700 yard worth of offense. And you beat them by 21 points. You beat them by 3 touchdowns. And and again, by the end of the third quarter, it was 49-21. That is uh, that is a beatdown. That is a blowout by any metric. And for Carolina fans, I hate to tell you this, and I've seen it a lot, and it's been wrote down, there's no such thing as more victories. I know, I know, I know where it comes from. The fact that you had no expectations going to the game, that you thought you was gonna get beat down, and you beat by 3 touchdowns, which is a blowout, and you did some good things offensively. You did. There's no such things as more victories. There aren't. Sorry, Carolina fans. They're not. I mean, I'm sorry that your program is such that you think that just getting beat by 21 is okay by you. You know, I never ever want to be in a position to where I get beat by 21 and I come away from the game thinking that was okay. We did okay. We did all right. Hell no. No such things as moral victories. Not in this instance. You are a major D1 program in a major football conference. You should not be happy to get beat by your rival by 21 points. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not under no circumstances should you be happy with that. Under no circumstances should you settle for that. No, no, and no. That can't happen. That can't be the standard. But Clemson fans, they coming. It's coming. Not the ones that, not the good Clemson fans, not the good objective Clemson fans, not the ones that have insight and have objectivity and some kind of balance in life. But these fools who consider being your rival by 21 points as a loss or as this doom and gloom type deal, you're gonna get it. You go to these NFL scores again. I mean, let me get back to the NFL scores. I was raving about Russell Wilson, how great he was yesterday. I could talk about Russell all day. Big fan of. Browns defeated the Bengals yesterday. Baker Mayfield was spectacular yesterday. 2 for 4 TD passes against the Bengals. The Bengals are just. Andy Dalton has been placed on IR, by the way, so he's out for the rest of the season. Bengals are a mess. Marvin Lewis probably won't get fired. A little side note: Hugh Jackson is now working for the Bengals, and that was some stuff that was at play yesterday when Baker Browns took on the Bengals side. Patriots get 27 over the Jets. Rob Gronkowski was back. On a machine. No, it makes some noise on the ground. Yes. And they had one of the McCown guys who's still in the league. I don't know which one, Josh. I don't really give a damn. See, this is why Colin Kaepernick's gonna. Some guy named Josh McCown is still playing quarterback in the NFL. Eagles got on the win, finally got a win yesterday over the Giants. I told you the Giants were no. But I'm not the Eagles. Space. Again, can't run the football. Maybe Josh Adams can spark the running game, but the secondary is a mess. And I'm kind of with Odell Beckham yesterday. Now, I don't know what the game plan was, but if you're not attacking the Eagles in the secondary all game long, then shame on your coaches. They can't cover anybody. My friend once said he told me one time, he said they can't cover a queen size bed with a king size sheet. So I mean, why are you not? I know you got Saquon back there, which he touched the ball a lot in the first half, second half. But if you're not throwing the ball on the Eagles all the game long, attacking that secondary, which is uh, vulnerable would be too nice of a word to use for how bad the Eagles secondary is right now and how banged up it is. So that would be just um, not a good word to use. um, Eagles get a win yesterday, and they still alive mathematically, obviously, so they still got a chance to win this NFC East. The Ravens beat the Raiders yesterday. Or Jackson started his second straight game, picks up a win. He did some nice things. He threw a interception times, but he made some plays with his legs. Did throw a touchdown pass too. So stink. John Gruden stinks. John Gruden is getting exactly what he deserves. Raider Nation is getting what they deserve for paying this guy $10 million a season. I hope you're a happy Raiders fan. Enjoy your $10 million a year coach who sucks. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. The Broncos upset beat the Steelers yesterday. So in back-to-back weeks, the Broncos beat the Chargers and Steelers. Game ends. Big Ben throws a horrible, horrible, horrible interception to end the game. I don't have any idea who he was throwing the ball to. Neither does he. Defensive tackle caught it, and the Broncos upset the Steelers yesterday, despite being thrown for a ton of yards, which does seem all the time. Juju Smith-Schuster had a huge game, but kudos to the Broncos here lately, and 2 wins in a row. Chargers and Steelers, two really good teams who I both had in my power rankings last week. Broncos. You know, I don't. They're gonna win the division, but Steelers, I don't trust them at all. I just don't. The Colts, Vikings, and Chargers all get yesterday. Andrew Luck looked great as of late. Chargers played well. They played a bad Arizona team, but the bigger story is that Melvin Gordon has a sprained MCL, and I, for one, want to blame the coach for this because they were up 28-10. It's an inferior opponent. They were not going to lose to Arizona yesterday. So I do question why in the hell was Melvin Gordon in the game. He was banged up all week, questionable for the game. Started, played okay, had a couple touchdowns in the first half. Game was in hand. There was no reason to have Melvin Gordon out in the field at this point. And now he suffers an MCL sprain. And he's day to day or week to week. I didn't like that. I forget the coach's name. Anthony Lynn. I didn't like that at all. Now you lose Melvin Gordon. Now he's not losing, but now he's having to battle this throughout the season. And as it get colder, it's tough on a running back. There's your NFL action. If you want to get in on the program, 864-378-5943, 864-378-5943. This is Overreaction Monday. This is your show. We had college football season ended this past weekend. We have the championship games are now set. This coming Saturday, championship Saturday. We have, actually Friday night, I'm sorry. Pac-12 championship game is on Friday night. We have Washington and Utah. Saturday, high noon, you have Oklahoma and Texas at 4 o'clock. The SEC championship game. This is a play-in game. Obviously, the winner going to be in the playoffs. The two best teams in college football will play Saturday at 4 o'clock. That's my opinion. Going to the game. That could change. But as I sit here right now on 11, what is 6? I sit here right now. I think the two best teams in college football playing Saturday. Georgia, Alabama. And I hope it's a clash. Later in the week. Probably Friday. That game. 8 o'clock, Clemson takes on Pitt. And at 8 o'clock, Big Ten title game. Ohio State with Western. So your championship games are set. If you want to call in again, that number is 864-378-5943, 864-378-5943. It is Overreaction Monday. You get to overreact and react to what you saw over the weekend in college football as well as the NFL. Came on the show, talk a little bit about Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. I had some more college ball head coaching news. I mentioned that Les Miles is now back coaching. He has been hired by Kansas. Last championship back in 2006. Played for another one in 2011. Ended very badly in LSU. Those prehistoric dinosaur coaches who wants to run two tight ends and run the football, and Clyde does play defense. That day is dead and gone. I mean, you have to play defense. Of course, you got to play defense. Defense win championships. No doubt about it. College football place that's not going to draw a lot of elite talent like Kansas. The last thing you need is a college athlete in Kansas is to play in a boring offense for a boring old coach. Yes, that's the last thing you need living in Lawrence, Kansas. Yes, because that place is full of excitement. Because that place is already booming with a lot of lights and excitement. So that's going to make me more excited playing for Les Miles in the Kansas Jayhawks football program. Great hire, by the way. I don't understand all these young, hip, innovative young coaches out here. Even in NFL right now, you see where it's transitioning to these young upcoming brainiac coaches. I like them. Give me more of them. Give me more of the Sean McVays, who's younger than me. Give me more of the Kyle Shanahan's, who's just a little older than me. Give me those guys. Give me the young, bright-minded coaches out there. Not these old, has-been, Mac Brown and Les Miles. Give me a break. Give me a break. Mac Brown has no business being. Give me a break. Now, with that being said, he can bring order to the program of UNC. They'll win 6 games, 7 games. They'll get that mark. That's what they want to be. He can do that. He can do that. He can win 6, 7 games, especially in the the Coastal Division. But the first call he better make is to Kelly Bryant. That's the first call he got to make, right? I mean, he had to call Kelly Bryant. That's the first call you have to make. Oh, breaking news. Not breaking news, but I got some news that's coming through. There's a lot of boosters and a lot of people in the Auburn hierarchy who are trying to devise a plan to get rid of Gus Malzahn. So that could happen. There's a possibility that Gus Malzahn could be fired. Now, he has a big payout, which is why they're probably organizing, trying to figure out how can we pay him all of this money that we're going to owe him, because he has a huge deal that he just recently signed. So it's a big payout. It's huge. It's a big payout. It's a big payout. So there's a rumor out that the boosters and people that ilk at Auburn right now are trying their best to devise a plan because they want Gus Malzahn out at Auburn. If that happens, with Fedora out, Kelly Bryant, who has both these teams on his list, has to kind of pay attention to some of the stuff that's going on, or at least talk to some of these guys for making a decision, because you got 2 coaches out the door of the 6 teams that I think he's considering. So it's interesting, man. Interesting times in college football. Gus Malzahn may be out at Auburn, so there's some news there breaking. Tony Thomas gets in. Jags fired the offensive coordinator, and Blake Bortles got benched finally. We mentioned that early on the program. That's what we do on here. We mentioned that already, but glad that you paying attention to what's going on out here in the world of sports right now. If you want to get in, 864-378-5943, 864-378-5943. You know who I am, the sensational Sentell Whiteman. This is the hottest sports podcast in the South. This is the best damn sports podcast, period. This is Sentell right here live on YouTube, man. We talk about Harbaugh and what do we think about Michigan? Did Clemson fans feel encouraged or discouraged about Saturday's performance. Got championship Saturday coming up. Huge weekend in college football. NFL. Uh, Always good. We got a big Monday night game tonight. We got Tennessee, Houston, Texas. So we got Deshaun Watson versus Marcus Mariota on a nice primetime game tonight. Right after this show, matter of fact. Right after this show, you can tune in and watch Monday night. But right now, let me get the final results to the poll question. It is 67% say they should be encouraged and not discouraged. I would be somewhere in the middle of that. Because I am a little discouraged about the defensive performance in the first half, but they did put up 700. But I am not a Clemson fan. I will be a little bit concerned. I'm not going to be overly concerned. I would be a points that I get. But again, a win is a win is a win is a win. I'll take a ugly win all day. Every day I'll take a ugly win over a pretty win any day. Pretty loss. Again, number 864-378-5943. I'm gonna stay a couple more minutes, maybe get a phone call, maybe a couple more comments. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. It's been a pretty fast show. Pretty quick there. I'll probably be back Thursday night. If not, we'll do another Friday. We'll do another Friday show. Do a Friday show, like 5 o'clock Friday show, like we did last week, and get championship Saturday and whatever NFL may hold. Well as my sucker of the week. Other things, NFL power rankings. Maybe do a little real news, fake news. Hey, you never know what you might get. I'll probably have some guest co-hosts on also. Well, Brown has already accepted the job at North. Already done the deal. Thank you. Again, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. So hopefully you guys will tune in again. Appreciate again. Started watching commenting. I had a lot of activity. Oh yeah. We got 2 teams from the Abbeville County area, both playing for the upper state this weekend. We got the Abbeville Panthers. That was to be expected. But I don't think any of us expected Dixie Hornets to be playing for the upper state title, and they have a running back. Oh boy, they have a running back. He went wild last week, over 200 yards and 4 TD. He is outstanding. Maybe your truly might make his way to one of these upper state games. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I may go. I'm not gonna count that in. I may go. But kudos, man. Dixie had, I think the first time, last week was the first time he went to the 3rd round since like 1993. So it's been a long time since they've been this far in the playoffs. So, hey, man, shouts out to Donald Kid. I know. I know his mom is from Cowan Falls. Hey, I know this, but that's good. Great stuff. I don't know her really. I don't know her that well. She's a little older than me, but that's big time right there. I respect. Anytime the county team can do something well, I applaud it. I live in Abbeville. Right there in the backyard, I got the Abbeville Panthers in my backyard, the most dominant high school football team in the last decade, right here in my backyard. So I want to embrace that, but respect the hell out of it. Me, so I respect it. Hey, we can go, man. We can go to the Dixie game. I mean, I'm all Friday. I'm all for it. So if you want to go, you want to strap up the car, hey, and gas up, I'll ride with you. I'll go check it out. I'll go. That may mean no show Friday, so I might have to do a Thursday night show. But hey, we will fit it in. Sentell Intel will be right here either Thursday or Friday. You can bet that. Again, let's thank everyone for tuning in and calling and commenting on the show tonight. Really enjoyed doing the show tonight. We'll see you guys Thursday night or Friday for another edition of the Best Damn Sports Podcast, period. The hottest sports podcast in the South. That's Sentell's Intel. I will see you guys soon, very soon. I am out of here.
Do you feel the vibes?